But she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Yeah.
See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world. So please stop using that phrase and talk about, because you don't understand what you're saying.
For years, Whoopi Goldberg has steamrolled conservative voices, cutting them off mid-sentence, dismissing their opinions as if they don't even matter. She barely lets guests speak before rolling her eyes and waving them off like they're beneath her. But this time, she ran into a force she never saw coming. Enter Karoline Leavitt. This wasn't just a heated exchange. It was a full-blown verbal smackdown, broadcasted for the entire world to witness. Karoline didn't just challenge Whoopi. She exposed her hypocrisy, tore apart her weak arguments, and left her scrambling for a response. The entire panel sat frozen in disbelief. For the first time in The View's history, Whoopi was completely and utterly shut down. And now, the backlash is off the charts. ABC executives are in full-blown crisis mode, scrambling behind the scenes, as rumors swirl about firings, disciplinary actions, and possibly even permanent exits. And Whoopi, let's just say she may have finally crossed the line. So, what exactly did Karoline say that left Whoopi humiliated on live television? The chaos erupted when Whoopi, Joy Behar, and the rest of The View decided to gang up on Karoline, treating her like an outsider in their little woke clubhouse. And as expected, things got ugly, fast. Whoopi, with her usual smug superiority, rolled her eyes and smirked, clearly convinced she had the upper hand. Joy, never one to miss an opportunity for a cheap shot, chimed in with her signature bitter tone, practically salivating at the chance to tear Karoline down. But this time, they messed with the wrong guest. Oh, so now we're judging women based on their looks? The hypocrisy is unreal. These are the same women who constantly preach about supporting and uplifting women, until, of course, that woman happens to be conservative. Then, all bets are off. Suddenly, it's open season to mock, belittle, and tear them down. The so-called champions of feminism expose themselves every single time. And here's the real kicker. Karoline Leavitt isn't just another talking head. Her list of accomplishments is through the roof, and she's achieved them all at a young age. Meanwhile, Whoopi? What exactly has she done lately, besides sitting in a cushy chair, spewing the same tired narratives, and shutting down anyone who dares to challenge her? And then, oh, it gets even better. Karoline didn't hesitate. She didn't back down, for even a second. No nervous laughter, no stuttering, no scrambling for words. She knew exactly what she was going to say, and she delivered it with absolute precision. And Whoopi? Well, you already know what comes next. She had to respond somehow, but let's be honest, was it even worth listening to?
Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world. So please stop using that phrase and talking about, because you don't understand what you're saying. She said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah. Let
me explain something to you, because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table.
Whoopi, do you even hear yourself? You sit here preaching about women's empowerment, but the moment a conservative woman succeeds, you reduce it all to her looks. That's the real scandal here. Boom. The audience, dead silent. Not a single gasp. Not a single clap. Just stunned silence. Even Joy Behar, the queen of interrupting, sat there, speechless for the first time in her life, completely out of comebacks. And Karoline? She wasn't even close to finished. She leaned in and went for the knockout. Wokeness isn't about equality. It's a political weapon used to silence anyone who doesn't fall in line. And Whoopi, you prove it every single day on this show. The gasps from the audience, unmistakable. The moment was so raw, so shocking, that social media exploded. In real time. Within seconds, Whoopi was exposed. And Karoline? She owned that stage like she was born for it. The clip spread like wildfire, racking up views at lightning speed. And ABC? Oh, they were not ready for what came next. Because what happened after? It only made things worse. Bam! ABC executives were horrified. Panic spread behind the scenes as reports trickled in. Producers were fuming at Whoopi, scrambling to contain the damage. Sponsors, getting nervous. Even the View's most loyal fans, the ones who had defended Whoopi through everything, were starting to turn on her. And then, the real bombshell dropped. Whoopi Goldberg was mysteriously missing from the next episode. Just gone. No explanation, no warning, just an awkward gap where she was supposed to be. And ABC's official statement? Whoopi is taking time to reflect on recent discussions. Yeah, sure. We all know what that really means. This wasn't just a controversy. This was crisis mode. Whoopi Goldberg, the face of The View, the one who always seemed untouchable, was officially on the chopping block. And the fallout? Oh, it didn't stop there. The pressure kept mounting. The backlash kept growing. And at this point, the writing was on the wall. ABC was facing a brutal decision. Overhaul the show completely or risk total cancellation. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, it did. As the media storm raged on, ABC execs scrambled behind the scenes, desperately trying to salvage the mess. Leaks started pouring in. Producers were livid. Network higher-ups were in crisis meetings. And advertisers? Terrified. Some had already started quietly pulling out, not wanting to be associated with this PR disaster. But the real twist? Even The View's own co-hosts were starting to crack. Suddenly, the women who had spent years defending Whoopi weren't so eager to stand by her anymore. Internal tensions hit an all-time high. Off-camera whispers turned into full-blown conflict. Sources claimed Joy Behar was furious, not at Karoline, but at Whoopi for putting them all in this mess. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin? She reportedly tried to play both sides, privately questioning whether Whoopi had finally gone too far. And just like that, the cracks in The View's foundation started to show. Then came the biggest shock yet. Insiders revealed that ABC was actively considering suspending Whoopi indefinitely. Yep, you heard that right. The woman who had ruled that stage for years was suddenly expendable. At this point, ABC was stuck between two impossible choices: stick with Whoopi and risk their credibility crumbling even further, or cut her loose and admit that she had become too toxic to protect. Either way, The View's fate was hanging by, a thread. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse for Whoopi, they did. Behind the scenes, ABC was spiraling into full-blown crisis mode. Executives were scrambling, producers were losing their minds, and now, even legal teams were getting involved. That's right, this wasn't just about PR anymore. Leaks from inside the network claimed higher-ups were having serious discussions about whether Whoopi's behavior had crossed a legal line, one that could put ABC in hot water. And if that wasn't enough, the ratings started tanking. The viewers were furious. Even The View's diehard fans began boycotting the show, demanding change.
She said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women.
Yeah.
See, this is not black, Asian, this is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that
She felt
table.
betrayed by ABC, by her co-hosts, even by producers who had backed her for so long, and rather than staying quiet, she went into full attack mode. Behind the scenes, Whoopi started throwing major shade at ABC execs, accusing them of turning their backs on Her after everything she had done for the show. She reportedly confronted Joy Behar directly, demanding to know if she was part of the discussions to push her out. And Joy? She refused to answer. At this point, Whoopi's future wasn't just uncertain, it was unraveling in real time. And, with ABC already working on a contingency plan, one question remained. Was Whoopi about to be shown the door, or was she planning to walk out first? At this point, Whoopi wasn't just fighting for her spot on The View. She was fighting for her entire career. ABC was moving fast, weighing their options, and scrambling to save face before this controversy completely destroyed the network's credibility. But Whoopi? She wasn't going down without a fight. In a desperate move, insiders revealed that Whoopi had started making her own calls to top executives, network heads, even major advertisers trying to rally support. But here's the problem. That loyalty? It was fading fast. ABC was in full damage control mode, and the reality was setting in. Keeping Whoopi might be riskier than letting her go. At this point, the Whoopi era was collapsing in real time, and as every new leak, every advertiser walking away, and every furious viewer demanding change piled up, one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't blowing over anytime soon.